Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. You know what? I'll deal with that later.
Welcome, everybody, to Generation Dan from the land of Swamp Ass and the deodorant that has stopped working from the place to be. I'm Atlas Novak. I'm your millennial. Who else is here with me?
I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel, and I am your resident old person who's definitely going to complain. You know, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. That's what it is. Which also, this fucking is bullshit, okay? Every time somebody says that, I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit, bro. It's hot as fuck, okay? That hurts. It hurts my skin, my face, everything. Anyways.
Our guest today is David Berger. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you guys for having me. Love it. Love it. Dino, Atlas, this is going to be fun. I'm excited.
Listen. So I've been doing a thing, David. I've been walking 20,000 steps a day, okay? Which is a little shy of about 10 miles a day, okay? Just as exercise in the sun and just kind of trying to turn myself into jerky during the summertime, basically. And in this heat, I'm like, I swear to God, it is a complete fucking nightmare, and I'm going crazy. But it's raining now, and now I haven't gotten my steps for today. So, what else do you think is happening that we can talk about instead of the heat wave?
Lots of things.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, crazy stuff. I mean, honestly, do you realize that the UEFA Cup is having their finals? I don't know if anyone's aware of that.
That is like, wow.
Argentina is playing some other team that sounds just like Argentina, and they're going to play for something. I don't know if
That
you're aware
sounds
of that.
just like Argentina.
Big news. Big news. Other than that, I don't know anything that's gone on.
I don't know. I hear that.
I mean, what's going to trump that news?
Maybe I don't have.
Yes.
I don't have the ear for what you're saying. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I am finally on board with puns, gentlemen. I am finally on board. Those were totally worth it. No regrets whatsoever.
Well, from a marketing standpoint alone, NRA dropped a huge fucking ball right there, baby. Because right away they could have came out and said, "See, guns don't kill people."
Hey,
Yeah.
listen,
It didn't. He had a gun. Trump's alive.
it's what's up, Cole? Thank you for watching. Listen, the wild part about all this is like the insanity of everything being backwards. You're like, okay, hold on. So somebody went for it. There's a picture of the bullet in the air. We're going, so we're saying this is real, and that kind of luck happened. You're going, I don't know, man. This is a little bit much. If there was a real bullet, you're like,
It's okay. First off, it came out pretty quick that the guy was a registered Republican, which made the other side go, "Oh, it's fine.
Okay,
Everything's
hey,
cool." Yeah.
it's not even that. Listen. Like right now, anyone's saying, well, listen, everyone is fine. You know, nobody's having a mental health crisis. So it could be any reason. You're like, there's just crazy people everywhere. Let's just start
He was
there.
shooting at birds. You know what's funnier is it turned out it was Kyle Rittenhouse.
It's
Oh,
you know it's a big deal when the media gives him like the middle name, right?
every time.
Yeah. Not just John Booth, John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
You know? Not just Thomas Crooks, Thomas Matthew Crooks.
Listen, it's the whole, like the fact that like the picture, in all honesty, I'm just like, you can't pay for that kind of a picture. Like, I mean, you probably can now, probably like $9.99 or something, blown up.
You can get it on eBay.
Yeah,
I saw-
100%, right?
I saw a picture on Reddit where they had already printed T-shirts
for sure.
of like him with the fist in the air and the blood going down his ear.
Like
The
that's
crazy part is they did those Friday.
I mean, okay, so they're trying to Wilkes Booth, Harvey Oswald, Crooks. Really?
Yeah.
So hold on. So are we talking like Manchurian Candidate kind of weird shit? Like what's the? I honestly, fuck it. Let's do it again, bro. We're going to the moon. It's back to the '60s. I don't care. Like this whole thing is gone so insane. That, like what the hell's going? Like who's driving this thing? I'm in Canada. I'm going, what is happening?
Well, I mean, we live in our country, our beautiful, amazing, which again, here's my thing, is I don't like Trump and I don't like Biden. Don't like Israel and I don't like Palestine. I don't like they're all wrong. The people, the human beings aren't wrong. The human beings deserve to live and have freedom and be safe. Governments across the board are crap. I mean, you know, even Canada, who doesn't even get into shit. I don't even know what you guys do. Still bad government. You know, I mean, it's
100%.
It's not like there's good government and we're fighting. We're taking sides against each other.
Yeah.
Over there's people who've broken up families over two of the oldest living people in the world, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and they've broken their families up over what are you fighting about? They're like the worst people that ever lived. Who are you fighting over? Which one's bigger crap? Who cares? Why do we fight over who's the biggest piece of crap?
I mean, this is the real crux of it. So this is a very Canadian thing, is we don't traditionally vote people in, we vote people out. So we don't like that guy, so because we don't like him, we're voting for that guy. We don't care what his guy is. We just don't want you anymore.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying to think of
process.
Okay, not counting like state or local, because I feel like that's more about voting people in than out.
Yes.
But for national, I'm trying to think of the last time a presidential candidate where everyone was like, okay, yeah, that I like this more than I don't like the other person.
Yeah, like listen, there's
not in my lifetime, I don't think.
Yeah, well, like, and that's
maybe
this is
Ross
what I love.
Perot. I don't remember him that well, but
Ross Perot, okay.
So
yeah,
Ross Perot was such an anomaly because he was right. Like literally everything he was saying was like, this is where we're risking. This is why I'm using my own money to do this. This is why I'm trying to do it, because America needs it. And you know what? It sucks, but we got to do it. And it just has to happen now, or else there's no turning back. And you're just going,
mm-hmm.
The little midget was real. Shit. I thought he was all. Honestly, he came across as a lucky guy, right? Like nobody ever like can't be a real person because he's very small, very crafty. You just show up on things. I remember there was a.
Cole says Jimmy Carter probably, which makes sense. Now, Nixon had resigned, so you're not voting him out. He's gone already. But maybe the things that he was doing, and you're like, we just want a guy who's not a shitty person. And Jimmy Carter's like, I'm not a shitty person.
Yeah.
And then
hilariously
voted him in.
Well, we were talking about this the other day, Alice, was that Jimmy Carter is a one-term president. Yeah. And technically can be voted in again. Like that is...
I think he's in hospice care.
There's
then again...
be someone older than him we could vote for. I mean, is Mother Teresa still alive? Like, why?
Let's be honest, though. Let's be honest. Jimmy Carter in hospice would get more votes than Biden or Trump. Like, just, out of sheer going, can't be worse. Just, it can't be worse, right?
Yeah.
Like,
look at all the stuff that came out about Nixon. That, it turns out he wasn't even a bad dude. Like, he was.
No, he was a pretty bad dude.
Well, no, but I mean, he was literally trying to call them out on stuff. And they came after him. It was a whole weird thing. When you read the whole thing, being a teacher, I had to delve so deep into this stuff. It is so weird when you read the real stuff and you're just like, no, they're literally playing TV on like in real life.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing is like now the whole like the last 100 years turns out has been a little bit scammy, you know, and you're going, look, medicine got railroad. We know that for a fact, and got taken over by pharmaceuticals, right? Instead of being natural medicine and stuff like that. Which listen,
I don't think it's it was more about healthcare, not.
But that's the thing is natural medicine does have its limits, as anything does. But it got squashed to have proper medicine. Which listen, look, there are a lot of people that are alive today that have modern medicine to thank, and only modern medicine, right?
Mm.
But what are you going to do, right? In the end, now we have people who are living to 70 years old, and you're like, just go home, bro. Like, stop working. Just
yeah,
leave.
we talked about this on last week's episode about like when do you like just go like just fucking move on with your life and go full Cincinnatus, go full George Washington, and just
just be like, all right, I'm out. You guys are good. Boom.
Leave it up to the kids.
You know?
The weirdest part about this like assassination attempt is I found out about it when my friend and I had taken a certain fungi. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Hey.
And
what was his name?
Dan.
No, the fungi.
The fun guy.
It's important. Do you know what? Do you know what it was?
No, I don't know. He made me a tea out of it, and
yeah. You can do them all. All of them.
Yeah.
This is the best part is we're in an age where they can all be edible. They can all be tea.
Yeah.
They can all be. It's a wild thing where you're going. Like I remember. I'm sorry to cut this story off, Alice, but this is funny.
Yeah.
Is that like I'm like I remember in high school at least a couple times I was sold and smoked oregano. Like 100%. That shit happened, right? And now I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the weed store and buy some pre-rolled weed, have a little conversation, maybe do some jokes, and then be on my way to go get high. And people are like, "Hey, have a great day," and I'm like,
"Yeah,
wild."
And
right?
you're like, "I will, thank you." No, but the it was about 20 minutes after drinking it, and I just went to go text my wife, being like, "Hey, I'm probably not going to answer for a while because." He said that looking at like screens feels weird for that. Yeah. And then she texted me saying Trump got shot, and I was like, oh, okay. And then just put my phone down. Like, what do I do with that information? And then I laid on his couch looking, like he has a skylight in his living room. So I was looking at all the gunk on the skylight, and it was like moving in time to the music we were listening to.
Nice.
While we were talking, it was a really weird time to have that experience.
Yeah, 100%. See, this is what a lot of people don't realize. David, I'm not sure. Do you take mushrooms at all or no?
So funny story. So I've been married twice because I'm really good at marriage, and so I keep doing it.
Nice.
But yeah, and so I've been married twice, and with my second wife, a comedian, this buddy of mine, Adam. I'm kind of really sketchy about who I'd take anything from or whatever, and so I've been wanting to do mushrooms. I thought like, okay, this is the catharticism that I need in life. I don't know if I'm fucking saying it right.
I think it's catharsis, right?
It's ism. Something is. I'm getting to that age where I lose a word here and there. But where I hit that point of like, oh, aha. And someone said, oh, mushrooms. And I thought, you know what? I would do that. Like, there's no drugs I'll do. Like, you know, I would never do meth. I would never do ecstasy, Molly, any of that stuff. I got offered DMT at a penthouse in Vegas after a comedy show. And I was just like, no. But mushrooms, I'm like, I want to do that and have that cathartic, cathartic moment. And just boom. And so this buddy of mine I trust gets me mushrooms. Mm-hmm. Me and my wife at the time were going to take them.
Yeah.
And we get in an argument, and she locks herself in the kitchen and takes all of them.
Oh.
So I've never gotten to take mushrooms, and I really want to. And I haven't found like, somebody, okay, that knows enough about them where I'm not worried.
Yep.
I'm eating them from the garden.
I hope that didn't hit too much. My friend said that he's like, when you take them, like he's like, there are people who take like 2 full fistfuls at a time and gently retard themselves. His words, by the way.
It's me.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm going to tell you in this case, totally
And that's
right.
a verb, by the way. I'm not calling someone that. It's like the end of a song where it slows down. Yeah.
If I take too little, so this is the thing is, I have been doing a lot of personal work, David. I've lost 250 pounds. I used to be the size of 2 fat people. Now I'm 1 fat people. It's perfect.
Heck yeah.
And and trying to become a better me. And then kind of through my discovery, I realized I'm kind of my own problem. So I'm like, I need to fuck with my own brain. So instead of using a Q-tip and just going for gold, I decided I'm going to try mushrooms. So I was in the same situation where I'm like, I need some sort of mystical creature to guide me through this experience. So that's where my friend Kyle came in. That's Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
And since then that we did that, and I'm like, he's like, you're okay, everything's fine. And I'm like, everything is not fine. It was awesome, but very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. I highly recommend the experience. The best part is, so now in Toronto we have mushroom stores, so you just walk into it. Like, so we have weed stores where it's like you don't need anything, you just walk in. Like, I have a really nice one that's by me, and it's like he sells like really good weed, but also like he'll have a bunch of pre-rolls that you could buy and stuff like that, and it's just a much better experience. And even like I brought in my vape, and I'm like, hey, I'm getting a lot of gunk. They're like, oh, why don't we clean it for you? And I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. Like, and then, but the fungus guys, you walk in and they're like, they are a little bit sketchy, so they'll buzz you in, but like it's a regular store, like on a main road. It's not like you got to go down this street and then like knock 3 times, but only with your wiener. Like, nothing weird.
I don't think there are a lot of stores like that in LA, mostly the weed stores, not the stores, but they do the buzz in thing, and I don't think it's them that are sketchy. They're worried other people are sketchy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, people robbing them and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, too, if it's the cops, give me 5 minutes so I can dump my shit into my vault and lock it. Sorry, I don't know what the combination is. Sorry, oh, my bad. Eat shit, fuckface.
Right?
So, but that's the thing is, you're going like, so I walk in, I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? Like, no problem. What are you here for? I'm like, I'm feeling like I want to talk to God for like a good 6 hours. They're like, that recipe, okay. And just hook me up, but like,
and they know exactly what to give you. See, that's what legalization does. Is it takes it out of? I mean, remember back in the day, it wasn't like, have a great day, let's clean your vape. It was like, hey, bro, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. 5 days later, your weed dealer calls you back, and then they're like, okay, 2 more hours, man. Okay, look, I'm gonna need you to meet me on the roof of the straw hat, where you're gonna have to jump across a 40-foot beam and then power roll under a car where I'll be laying. And it's like, oh my God, bro, you're selling me an eighth.
I remember, and like that was the wild part about it, was you're just going like, I was talking to one guy and he was like, yeah, we were saying how so the company I get is called the pre-rolls are from the company's called 1964. Really good. Right now they have a strain called Comatose. Great smoke. Just a great smoke in general. Now, that being said, I went to a guy today and I was talking with him and he goes, oh yeah, we only get the flower. He goes, pre-roll is only one store, which is the one that I normally go to. And sure as fuck though, like they were just like, yeah, I heard that's really good. And I'm like, you can now specialize in everything because people just learn to do shit better. Because you're like, oh yeah, it's all legal. So, okay. Like, I'm doing all this fucking crazy walking. I smoke a joint. So I usually walk for like 2.5 hours every morning. And then I'll do another hour and a half later on in the day. That being said, I'm like, the second hour, I'm like, I'll smoke a joint for the last little bit just to be like, just because all of my joints hurt. And I'm like, people got arrested for that shit before, man. That's crazy.
For years. Insane. Do you know that I don't know if there still are, but there was still people in jail for just marijuana offenses? It's like,
yeah.
How did you not legalize it when it became legal in the state?
Like why? What's the point of just keeping people in jail? Because you're like, oh well, you know, they were guilty at the time. Okay, laws change. What the hell? Right?
But that's the craziness is. You know, I had made a post because I was saying that like a McDonald's worker in California makes a little bit more than a paraprofessional working with special education children in a school. And I said a year. And then I said a general manager at McDonald's makes more than a lead teacher at a school. And then people were saying like, people who work at McDonald's work all year and and then other people are saying, well, yeah, but teachers have to do so much extra work. And no. I wasn't saying one's good, one's bad, one deserves it, one doesn't. I was saying you are paying the people who take care of your children, who educate your children, the same as you're paying the people who hand you your burger.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to get?
Hey,
you're gonna get burger people. Like you're gonna get, hamburger worth people.
You get a McEducation. That's
so much better than what I came up with. Thank you. I love that. Yeah,
okay.
McEducation is what they end up with, but that's beautiful. I love that. But
it's yours, free of charge.
Yeah. Thank you. No. But that's the thing. People don't get that. Is it's not one or the other. The people need to make a living wage at the minimum wage. I believe that in America, anybody who puts in 40 hours a week, and in our day and age right now where you have like two people or one person who needs that size of a home, depending on how many people, but two people or one person where each of them's making, would be making a living wage, they should be, and they're working 40 hours. Anyone working 40 hours should be able to buy a home, buy a condo. Like if you're a single man or woman or transgender, whatever you are, if you're single, you should be able to buy yourself a one-bedroom place to own. A cottage, a condo, something like that.
Laundry included, and a little bit of garden space. Okay, like let's a reasonable. But look, you're not getting a 5-bedroom house. Get fucked. You're one person. You should have a nice apartment. No problem. Look,
if you're putting in 40 a week.
Yeah, if you are, and you know what, it shouldn't.
Or 35, 40.
Yeah. Listen. Nobody's working Friday afternoon, bro. It's just the time is sailed, right? But like that's the whole idea. And Cole, McEducation, but we're gonna use that picture of Atlas that his student did. That's what we're gonna use. Okay, Atlas?
What? The one where it says your jokes aren't funny? That one?
Your jokes aren't funny, and it's gonna say McEducation. You're gonna be the teacher. That's how we're gonna do it. Okay? And David, you get the verbal, so you can drop that into jokes. Boom. Good. That's how you do business, baby. You share the fucking wealth. I love it.
Look, that particular student is
going to be doing great.
Well, no, they're not on social media, and I would like them to receive credit where credit is due.
Yeah. We'll give them money. How about that? Can you give them money?
Good. Yeah, but I don't know how to get in contact with them again.
Ouija board. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Wait. Did I lose? What student are we talking about?
This is a student of mine from this last year who graduated. Yeah. But they drew this pencil sketch of me in a bathrobe, and it says, "Your jokes aren't funny," off to the side, because I'm holding a microphone.
I don't have it. I
don't have it.
No.
I put it on a shirt. If you go on my Instagram,
let me.
David,
you know what? That's good. I love that though. Yeah. That's funny.
But this is the whole thing. Is that like, you and these damn faces on? I swear to God. Listen, I want our faces on T-shirts. You fuck. Okay. Sorry, Cole is another guy. David, I do a cooking show with, and it's called Hammered and Cheese, and we get shit faced. And Cole cooks. It's a very fun time.
Love
Tuesdays
that.
at 7:30. Everyone, please.
We just need to keep up with the housing inflation. Yes, Jim, they do.
Listen,
Housing should be a human right, not a commodity.
That was my point, is growing
Yeah.
up, everyone I knew who worked at like the grocery store, like, you know, the mom or dad worked at the grocery store. Maybe back then, the dad worked at the grocery store. The mom, you know, was a home full time, whatever. And they owned a house, but they owned a house and they owned a car and they went on vacations. And they did that not as the general manager of the grocery store, but as a cashier
Yeah.
at the grocery store.
Listen, it's you put in your 40. Listen, if it's a full-time job, you should be allowed to survive. Without you
Yeah, but
shouldn't
in
be
California,
like, oh,
you can't even get an apartment.
no.
There's
Yeah.
people working 40 hours, can't afford to have housing.
It's same. So right now, it would be with exchange for a 1-bedroom apartment, probably $1,600 USD in Toronto right now. 16 to 1,800. For a 2-bedroom, you're looking at over 2,500 USD per month. So it's the same.
That's where we're about at. That's where we're at in California, but that's like a mediocre average, not in LA, Hollywood, not in rich areas. This is like, you know, in the Valley, in Santa Clarita. I mean, you know, to be totally upfront, like right now, I'm at an Airbnb because I got ripped off in a whole rental deal.
Damn.
And me and my daughter, we don't have a house, and I'm a full-time teacher. But because I'm a full-time single parent. I have no family. It's me and my 3 kids. My older 2 are grown, but you know, they're just getting started. One's a teacher and one just graduated college. I go, you know, but right now I'm trying to figure things out because I got scammed and I was living so paycheck to paycheck that we didn't get the place because it was a scam. And then we'd already given up on our others and I couldn't get another. And right now I am waiting to get back to work, but I might be on the streets for 2 weeks waiting to get back to teaching. Simply because we live in a society, though, as a teacher, I can't afford to take care of my child and live and have any safety net. So when this happened, it was like screwed. And I'm not even crying because like I'm in an Airbnb right now in a room, like we're renting a room. But it's
like that's listen, that's but that's like you're in a situation that's like, okay, I gotta figure something out. At least there's that option, but like, god damn it, that shouldn't happen. Like, no one should be put in a situation where it's like, oh no. Like I'm a firm believer that because of this situation, you have people who are scamming others and stuff like that. Because listen, why would I work 40 hours a week and still not afford shit? Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking steal whatever I can. Which you're going, fuck. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, if people really wanted to wake up to the world, they'd watch nonstop episodes of Death Valley, Gunsmoke, and Wagon Train. Because what you will see is everyone who runs this country. And you'll see the names of people where you will shit your pants. And what you'll also see is you'll see people like Clint Eastwood and Charles Bronson and all those people looking super twinky and super femme. And you'll see them when they originally got into Hollywood because they're all in those shows. Burt Reynolds, all these people, and they're super like, they look like I looked when I started in Hollywood, and and damn it, and I turned down everyone. I was the dumbest ever. But but and then also like one of the craziest ones. I don't know I forget if it was Wagon Train or Gunsmoke, but one of the episodes that I saw, I know there's other ones. I think it was the writer and director was L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh no.
But that's what I mean. If you watch those old shows, you will shit your pants on how many politicians you'll see on there, how many famous people that have never said that their family was in the business. And then you start seeing all these names, and then you start looking them up, and you find out they are family, and that they didn't worked their way in. It was like the whole Justin Bieber thing from Canada. It was a total setup. His family was deep in the business. They produced the quote unquote improv YouTube video.
Of course.
And it was completely set up and it came out. But his family's been deep in the business for years. All these people, you start to find out like, oh shit, this is complete nepotism to a degree.
Yeah.
Then you have the puff daddies and people who come in and do what they got to do to get in.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing is I don't know if you guys remember this. So in London a few years ago, well before the pandemic, my wife and I had gone, and there were young people were stealing from stores. And when they were finally interviewed, like these kids were stealing like TVs and shit, right? Like it wasn't like it was just like pure, we're just gonna ransack the store. Then they would close the gates and they were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna rip it open and we're just gonna ransack your store. And like they even lit a pub on fire. And they interviewed the kid, and the kid goes, well, I'm bombarded on a daily basis with stuff telling me that I need to have this stuff to have the life I want. I need this stuff, and I'll never be able to afford it. That's their mentality. He goes, so I took it, and in my mind, I'm going, oh yeah, that's called marketing perfection. I took a want and made it a must, not a need, a must. My life can't go on unless I have it. If anything, somebody just got a raise, maybe a permanent, they just became a director, which you're going, that's mental. You can't do that to people. But everyone's going, well, I'm just trying to make a buck. So what are you going to do? Right?
It's just, hey, wait, that's exactly it. What are you going to do? And that's why, it's funny because I have this bit where I talk about it. I said, basically I was with a buddy of mine who the week before I wanted to go to Mexico. He couldn't fucking go with me because he had to go to a protest. Okay. He had to go to a protest for special needs people. Right. And I didn't go. And he was like, you're a special education teacher. Why wouldn't you go? I go, you go do your thing. We won't go to Mexico, whatever, right? And then, we're hanging out and we're at the liquor store. Guy pulls up in a big truck, jumps out of his truck, but he's parked in handicap. And so I go, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything because there might be stickers. He might have fake legs. Bionic legs are amazing nowadays. And I look, there's no sticker, no sign, no nothing. And I see him and he comes back out. And I go, oh, are you handicapped? He goes, no, bro, I just needed to run in. I go, cool. I hope next time God makes it so you get to park there for real. and so he goes like this. So he's like, what the fuck, bro? I go, what do you mean, what the fuck? I go, you parked in a handicap thing, dude. He goes, I was just running in. I go, yeah, but if a handicapped person showed up, they couldn't park there. I go, do you understand it's there for a reason? He goes, what's your problem, bro? And my friend turns to me and goes, dude, let it go. I go, no, fuck you. And fuck you. I go, fuck both of you. I go, this is bullshit. I go, I'm not letting it go. You parked in a handicap. Guy goes, you're a psycho. And my friend goes, bro, let it go. And the guy goes, you're a dick, walks off. So he walks off with me being a dick, but my friend's now lecturing me. And I go, bro, what's your problem? I go, why are you telling me anything? He goes, dude, you can't get all crazy about everything. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you can't change the world. I go, then why the fuck didn't we go to Mexico and get hookers?
Thank you. Why are
you at a protest if you think that way? But that's the thing is everybody has a protest sign. Nobody's standing up when the shit's happening. See, when the young black man's getting attacked, where's everyone to stop it? No. A month later, they'll all show up doing selfies with a protest sign.
Sure.
And then go back to their gated communities to make sure that kid can't get in. And it's just like, stop. Start making a change in your own existence.
Yeah.
But I don't do that anymore now. I shut the fuck up. I'm only out here to let people know that I will sell out, suck dick. I don't care. Sell dick. I don't even give a shit anymore.
I mean, what are you gonna do? You're like, hey, $20, man. Fuck you. Fuck it. This is the whole issue where you're going. It comes back down to bread and circus. You're going like, they will like it's almost as if you're like, as long as shit is entertaining, which, listen, let's be honest, this weekend this weekend in America has been fucking wild. Okay, like I was just saying, going, I don't understand. Like, there's always a reason, and you go, well, follow the money, and you figure out somebody got made $1 million, or so. You're going, right now, I'm like, this has gone too far. You guys have all lost your fucking mind. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, are you kidding? I mean, like, I would look, if somebody ever went up to someone, if I'm walking down and someone's like harassing someone who's transgender, I'm willing to die right there for that person, for their right to be 100%. But here's the thing: when people yell, "Follow the science," and then they go, "That's a woman," which one? Which science then? Because do we
What am I
just
doing?
pick and choose science? Because again, if you tell me you're a woman, you tell me your name's Sheila, that's who you are to me. I will call you Sheila. I will
Yes.
respect you as a woman. Everything
Same.
else. I will say this: I'm not happy if you're going to be playing sports against my daughter, who didn't have the same opportunity to build bones as you did originally, whether you took pills afterwards or not. But that's my own feeling. I'm not going to protest you being there. I'm not going to fight you. I might put my daughter in an all-girls only league, but that would be up to my daughter. And if she said, "No, Dad, I want to play here," I would respect that immediately. And
Sure.
later, all my kids have gone through, well, I should say both my daughters have gone through the different, I'm bi, I'm they, them, I'm this. One of my kids changed their name. I immediately started calling them by that name. What do I care? I dyed my hair and I wanted people to think it looked cool. What does it fucking matter? Respect people, whatever they want to feel they are. And you know what? Because I mean, male and females pretend it's made up. Everything's made up. So why are you
Everything's made
fighting
up, yeah.
people?
I
Why are
think
we fighting people?
I think for the people who are uncomfortable with like calling, their daughter, niece, nephew, cousin, brother, friend, whatever, by their new name because they, have come out as trans or whatever, they're afraid of saying the dead name and then getting chastised for it. But I think most of the like trans non-binary people I've hung out with, as long as you are pretty good about correcting yourself, where you're like, he, like they're fine. They don't care. Like for someone with the like epilepsy who takes pills that are making me run at 80% capacity all the time, I just say the wrong words all the time, not just names. Like Dino, you've heard me do it like a gajillion times,
He
right?
called me an asshole the first time he saw me, and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Sorry, I meant to say hello." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Epilepsy did it, I swear." Yeah. No.
No, but just that kind of thing, and I think like giving people just room to fuck up.
I'm turning 44 in a month. My brain has officially stopped working. I'll tell you
Yay!
right now. I just look at things and go, "Nah."
Wait, you're
there's too
saying
many
how
people.
old?
I'm
You're
turning
saying how old?
44. I'm turning 44.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Alice, how old are you?
He's
30.
young, like a child,
Okay.
barely a baby.
I
You're
mean, I
both-
found my first gray hair the other week, but whatever, nothing matters.
You're both babies.
How old are you, David? You look young, you prick.
yeah,
How
you
old
look
am
you look 40.
Oh, God bless you. 54.
you're 54.
54.
Ah, you asshole.
Nice.
That's bullshit.
But I will, the funny thing is, I found out a few things a long ass fucking time ago.
Yeah.
Some people just kind of hit me too. And you can't really hit people to them.
No.
Like, we're in a society, like there's certain things I can't even tell my own son to do. Because he'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And it's just easier to not tell him. And it would help him, but he would just laugh at me and blow me
Yeah.
off, even my own son, and so but other people wouldn't even hear me anyway. If I told people how to do certain things for
Yeah.
your skin, for different things like that, for all kinds of stuff, right? They wouldn't even hear me and it wouldn't matter. And that's like kind of the fucked up thing is it's like, nobody's going to hear anyone telling them the truth in it was like, that's what I always thought about Trump is at least he's funny. At least, like the guy's an idiot, but he's funny.
Hey, top tier funny, top tier showmanship, and he says the quiet part out loud. I'm here for it. I love
That was
yeah. That's one of
Give
those
me a
things
show.
where
If
I'm
I'm
like,
going to be fucked, I want a show at least.
At least give me the show, right? Like is that unreasonable? I think that's reasonable.
When George Bush ducked both the shoes,
Bro.
I stopped hating him right there.
It's a good dodge. It's a good dodge.
And it was like, bam, dude, you rule. Because all George Bush ever wanted to do was drink beer and hang out with his friends and own a baseball team. Except his brother Jeb was so ugly and unlikable, he could never be president. So George Bush Jr. had to do it. And he hated every minute of it.
Okay.
Like he wanted so little. The way?
Yeah. I said, please clap. Like
on a side note, okay, you guys remember when Jeb was like, please clap, and everybody started clapping? Like 2 weeks after that, I did a show, and a comic was on stage not being funny, and she was like, please laugh, and then people started to laugh, and I'm like, did that just happen? I'm like, oh my god, she's so bad. It was the funniest thing I've ever experienced.
That's
so
funny.
well.
Yeah, no, he was. I mean, but that's everyone. I mean, like people, there's people that will really argue that Trump started with just $1 million.
I mean, like a person in poverty.
10 million now.
That's bad. He's not funny in a good way, though. Listen, it's not in a benefit. We don't win from him being funny, but we are entertained. Like it's not. He's
yes
not like
no. I'm not really
America's
sure.
a giant Waffle House always has. Like right now, yeah. We went.
Yes.
You guys used to be Denny's, bro. You used to be Denny's, and now it's just the Waffle House. And you're like,
well, no, you got to remember, we were top tier.
Yeah.
Breakfast, eggs Benedict, but that was the outer shell. Inside was the Denny's. It was. Now we're just the Denny's. There's no pretending. Do you even hear people go, like, do you even hear most Americans go, yeah, no, we're the greatest country ever? You don't hear people really. You hear some people in Iowa yelling it. Other than that.
I feel like Denny's is a safety upgrade, right? Like Denny's, it's not about I feel Denny's is a little bit better quality, a little bit, not much, but probably not gonna get a fight unless it's like 2:00 in the morning, right? Like, whereas Waffle House, it could be 8:00 in the morning and someone's getting their ass kicked. Like and Waffle House, someone may be dying, I'm still getting waffles, which I respect. I respect their commitment to service. But
nothing stops it.
No,
but like you have Waffle Houses in Canada?
No, we have like 2 Denny's in Toronto, like one on the west end, one on the east end of Toronto. So I'm like, it's not too far, but like, yeah. There used to be some really good breakfast joints, like way up north. So you can get it like if you're driving like about half hour after you leave suburbia, like boom, you'll hit a diner, and there'll be like a truck stop as well. But then you got like awesome food, like huge muffins that were like half a pan the size of. It was fantastic. But yeah, now all that shit's gone. And you're like, it's a McDonald's. You're like, fuck you, assholes.
Well, that's like kind of what's happened in America a long time ago, but all over the world is nothing's cool anymore except for certain people who can afford to actually go to those places. The rest of us are just going to go to shithole tourist traps.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing. Like even I remember taking my wife. We went for our honeymoon to Greece, and I'm from Greece. I have a house in Greece. It's fantastic. When we got there, I'm like the most expensive part of the trip was the tickets. I'm like the renter car wasn't expensive. The hotel wasn't expensive. Like we had, and I'm a real stickler. Like I'm a real prick about this. I'm like, I really demand to have breakfast included in my accommodations, even if it's not even like a mediocre breakfast. I'm like, I want breakfast included. God damn it! I may not eat just in case like I lose my wallet or something happens. I'll have one meal a day, just as a just in case type of thing. But
you don't care about the shitty pastries.
Yeah, no, I don't give a shit. Just as I'll have something just in case. But everything was dirt cheap. Like the most expensive part was getting there, and then life was easy. But a lot of people aren't even willing. They're like, oh, I don't even want to. Like, as soon as you leave tourism areas, you're like, oh, you can just have a great time for cheap. It's nice, right? But not enough people travel either.
That's the crazy ignorant. We were talking about that the other day. I was talking with someone who's from Africa, and like they were saying, it's like she was saying that everybody thinks like African women are submissive, and she goes, it depends which part and where you're from. She goes, she's Bantu, and she's like, we're not at all. Like we'll fight in a second with our spouses and things like that, and we don't back down, and we control things, and we run the politics as well, and and it's like funny because we act like all over the world certain things are going on, or this or that, or people act this way, and it's not true. There's certain people who act certain ways, but there's no races of people or genders of people who act away.
Well, so I remember my wife was talking with one of my cousins in Greece, and she goes, so how come Dino acts more Greek than you guys do? And my cousin just explained, he goes, oh, Dino's trying to hold on to his culture, whereas we're just people who live in a place called Greece. It's not, we're just people. Yeah. Like it's not, and you kind of realize you're like,
what were you doing? Like dating a boy?
No, he is
he's going on a 20-year odyssey.
He's my apprentice, and I'm teaching him all the way. It's fine. No, once he graduates, he gets a woman. It's fine.
Well, I mean, okay, how crazy is that though when you think about it? It's like, it's like the thing. It's like everybody has that story still. Everyone's like, in my neighborhood, I was like the gay kid, and nobody liked me. And everyone in the neighborhood's like, what? Like I could never come out. I could never say I was gay. And then everyone in the neighborhood's like, we used to call you Gay Greg. What do you mean you couldn't come out? You dated my brother.
You were out. We were there. We talked about it.
I think it was they were calling you Gay Greg, and also with the implication that we would kick your ass or
like where I grew up in like Pacoima and stuff like that, which is a bad neighborhood, like a really rough area.
Yeah,
there would be dude like Gay John. John was gay, and they called him Gay John in the 80s and stuff like that. But none of us gave a shit. And I will tell you this: I have been fluid my whole life. I've never given a fuck. I've always had a joke that I'm gonna fuck this way or this way. I don't know. I wake up and find out. And I've never cared. My dad was like 6 foot something, 350, Brooklyn Jew. I found him shot to death when I was young. He was killed when I was young. He was involved in stuff. Oh. Here's the thing. If I could have walked up to him with a guy and been like, hey, Dad, this is my boyfriend, he'd be like, son of a bitch, nice to meet you. He could care less. He never had an ism. He didn't give a shit. It wasn't that he was liberal. It wasn't that he was conservative. He just saw people. And so I grew up my whole life never thinking of coming in, coming out. I decide what I'm going to do when I decided. I've always said, I'll tell you, I don't know. A lot of times my sexuality depends on my sobriety. I mean, I don't know. It just depends how kinky I'm feeling at the moment, who I'm going to be with, how many people are going to be there. There's a ton of comics I've had three-ways with and things like that. But this face will hunt you down in an alley and kick your ass for being anything but white. Even though I'm 100% Jewish, even though my kids are all mixed, black and Jewish, Turkish and Jewish, even though I grew up in Pacoima and I speak Spanish, this face will hunt you down and fight you. And I deal with more in life because of having to look somewhat like Donald Trump. But because all I'm saying is,
you're gay.
He's like, gay, he's gay, she's gay, everybody's gay.
Everyone's a little gay. It was the 80s. It's fine.
I love the gay. But that's the thing is like with Puff Daddy, everyone's acting like Puff Daddy was some sort of head of all this. Like, is that what it's not Puff Daddy. And they also don't talk about how his manager was also the manager for NWA and doing the same thing with Jay and all that
shenanigans.
Stuff. Right, but we don't talk about it. It's not those two. It's all of Hollywood. It's too much. It's widespread. It's men, women, men, straight, gay, everything. It's the people in power using their power. Like I forget who said it because I'll quote it wrong. I'm the worst teacher ever. But that power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolute.
Yes.
And the more power people have, the more they step on others.
But that's the whole thing. Like we've had this conversation a few times, David, was the idea was like, look, the fact is that there are there are supposed to be checks and balances. And the fact is that government, their check is organized crime. That's what keeps them occupied, because they have to fight each other. They can't go up. So when organized crime disappears, government, they don't give, nobody is doing anything. They don't give a shit, right? Because remember, the job of your representative used to be to represent the constituents. Their now job is to make sure they get reelected. And you're going, that's not a job. That is called corruption. You can't.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
Yeah.
That's all they care about. And people, but that's what I'm saying is, like, people are talking about like the presidential election being fake, being this. All of them, city ones. I mean, it's ridiculous. People get nominated to city assembly and things like that without anyone even voting.
Yeah.
There's people that run unopposed because no one knew it was even an election.
Yeah.
And they're doing this all over the country in small towns and everywhere. And these people are way more dangerous than people far away from me.
Oh yeah.
They're the pawns for those people. They're literally like they're Amway agents.
Listen, and that's the thing is they're all trying to do things in factors. You're going, listen, the country hasn't lost to anything but bureaucracy. Bureaucracy and the greedy are the only enemies that America should be worried about. Those two things. Because look, there's way too many people who just work for the government. They're like, oh, what do you do? They're like, I work for the government. Yeah, what do you do? I work for the government. You're like, that isn't a job. What do you do? Oh, nothing? What the shit? Like, that's not like, you know, and then hilarious. Well,
oh no, go ahead, finish.
No, but it's that's that crazy part where you're going, well, okay, this doesn't even make any sense anymore, because you have more bureaucracy and then less actual services available. You're like, well, hold on, are we paying taxes just to employ government agents? That doesn't make any sense. You're like, why are we doing that? Right? Yeah,
I mean, the FBI is recruiting like crazy on every job board everywhere, all over, for just people like me, you, and you. Well, not you, Canada, but me and you. Actually,
if the FBI needs a representative of Canada, I'm your guy. Okay, I am now at a very cool weight. I can go. People don't look at me very much. It's perfect. I can be a great FBI.
I can walk down the aisle of an airplane without my belly touching the seats on the side.
Like it's gonna either be my butt or my belly. One of them's gonna hit. Okay, I'm not that.
But in a very FBI way.
Yeah, in an authoritative way. I'll wear Spanx, FBI. I will wear Spanx if you make me. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think any of us qualify for their background checks, but
I mean, but allegedly, David. Allegedly, don't.
If you have enough information, yeah. I mean, but it's like, we're like, our education system is hiring teachers from other countries, not lowering the requirements for American teachers, but they're taking teachers from other countries that aren't teachers. They're taking people that are in college, getting ready to graduate in other countries, and letting them come over here and in a year become a teacher, but work during the time as a teacher. But they won't just hire Americans at a lesser. We still have to meet the credential, the everything. It's insanity. It's how much they care about the next generation knowing anything.
Amy, you are on point today. No, but you're right. Look, and this is the madness that is this weekend, right? Is that you have the speech at the by Biden that was supposed to be cool, like 5-10 minutes or whatever, and then went for an hour and was, hey, at this point it's elder abuse. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is you guys are doing, like, this is wrong, this is bad, right? And then you're going, like, the photo op of the bullet and Trump in front of the flag, blood on his face. You're like, listen, bro, I'm sorry, the moon landing wasn't directed that good, okay? Like, you can't.
Well, you said though that they were upset when they found out it was Antifa.
Oh,
but I mean, I'm sorry, you were upset when they found out it wasn't Antifa, but it was a Republican. But think
Yeah.
about it. It was their show. They knew who it was.
See, and this is the crazy part is like,
They know what they're doing.
hey, oh, well, this is the thing is, if it like, okay, let's handle all three options, right? So let's say it's real, wild, and like, bro, that is like the luckiest man alive, clearly.
Yeah, if it's
No.
okay, if it's real,
Okay,
and the shooter was a registered Republican, and something set him off
sure.
to go try and shoot Trump.
Mental, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that doesn't
I'm
make sense
registering
to me.
and voting for him, if that's the case. I'm going to actually register and vote for one time. He
Okay,
did
that's
it.
the first option. That it was
Okay,
100% real. What's
let's
next?
let's say it's okay. The next is that it's completely organized inside job.
Like a Reichstag fire thing where they're doing it to
Right.
like false flag. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then like I feel like this is kind of a, hey, it wasn't supposed to, like, it was planned to happen but not happen. So the fact that there was, like, bro, could you consent and trust that someone's gonna nick your ear?
Yeah, if you're Donald Trump, yeah, 100%. I
Ah,
promise you that
I don't think
dude
so.
would
I don't
risk
know,
it in a
man.
second. He
People
would risk
are
it in a second.
okay.
He's so egotistical. And I
People
don't
are
hate him. Let me
dumb.
not pretend like I do.
They're
Like, but like, seriously, like, listen, all right, don't get me wrong, that guy's a nut job, right? Like, let's not like trying to say that I'm for this or not. What I'm just saying is, like, even him, you think he would go that far? Yeah.
Yeah, well, now I
Mm.
used to talk when I had my podcast a while back. I used to talk about that. One of the things I talked about was I said it almost seems like this, like we were all starting to talk about stuff. People were starting to realize stuff, even like Berenstain, even that type of thing. All these things were starting to come out, and all this stuff was starting. People were starting to like wake up a little bit, and then boom, right? Trump and I said what I said was this. Trump walks into the DNC, and just like in Jaws, if you guys have both seen Jaws,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
walks in, scratches his nails down the chalkboard, and everyone in the meeting just stops and looks, and he goes, "You want to catch this shark?" So Trump does it, and he goes, "You want New World Order? I'll give you New World Order." And this has all happened since then. All this stuff has gone on, the pandemic, everything has gone on since then, to where we're so fighting with each other. We're so doing this. They're allowed to pass laws. I mean, my God, I came out and said, you guys are idiots. No one's getting rid of Roe versus Wade. I'm wrong. I can admit when I was dead wrong. I was devastated that actually happened.
Yeah.
You know, because again, not my face, but the rest of my heart and soul is a feminist. Like, I am 100% for equality. I was brought up equal to women. My dad raised me and my sisters playing the same sports with the same opportunities, the same punishment, same curfews, everything. I was never brought up in chauvinism or anything. So for me, yeah. But I thought, yeah, there's no freaking way Roe versus Wade is ever going away. And
Da, 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 dun.
and I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I was shocked. And yeah.
I'm look, there has not, like, this has been the absolute wildest fucking decade, like the last 10 years, where you're just going, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen next, because no one could have banked on any of it.
Well,
But now, like, I think about it this way is like, now do we bank on the craziest shit, because it's just getting crazier? Right?
well, I don't know if there's
it was crazy.
well, again, I don't even know. You know what I was saying the other day is we're like a TV series that still is getting continued, but we've run out. We're just replaying shit. We're just going along. They're not even writing. Like, they're not even trying to write anymore. And that's what we are now. We're friends at the end. We're everything at the last 2 seasons.
We're season 8 of That 70s Show. We're season 10
Yeah.
of Friends. We're, God. Trying to think of like other shows that... Okay, Happy Days after Fonzie jumped the shark.
We've jumped the shark as a race, as a human race. We've jumped the shark.
Oh yeah, like the new season of Dexter. You're like, what are you bringing this back for? What do you just end it for God's sakes? Like, it's nothing makes any sense, and everyone's just going, oh well, we're just gonna change it. And you're like, or you could just do your own thing. Like that's not like it's now gotten to the point where there's nothing new, nothing. Like,
If things aren't crazy enough, they'll wheel out Cat Williams and he'll say something crazy.
I think it might also just be that
I idolize that dude, but yeah.
It might also just be that like people are good at seeing patterns, so you start to see the patterns in most of your life, and then that makes it so it seems like everything was planned. And I really just think people are dumb. Like the guy, the shooter, dressed up like a cop, and that's how he wasn't seen until he shot. And I guess we'll find out more. Like, I'm very curious to see, because we record this on the Sunday, and it comes out on the Friday. And in the time between when we record this episode and when it drops on your podcast app, I wonder what's changed. Please let us know.
What's been discovered? Yeah, like what's been found out? Like, are they going to realize that blood is not that color?
Maybe.
It's not that red.
Leave a comment. Like, what did we miss? What's happened?
Hold
future
on,
listener. Yeah.
Why don't we make our own predictions as well?
Okay.
Because
right.
So listen, I'm gonna say number one. Yeah, blood's not meant to be that color. So my assumption is that somebody, because like digital camera, right? So they got the picture, enhanced it, just color corrected it to be that much more brighter. Just that's my assumption. That's my assumption. But like, I'm gonna go down and say the guy who's like, oh, he was a registered Republican. By midweek, it's going to turn out, oh, he just changed or something, but his entire family isn't Republican. Like some sort of shenanigans to say, so it was planned or something. Someone's going to try and conspiracy theory the whole fucking thing.
Here's my
Biden
theory.
Hunter. It was Biden Hunter.
Biden Hunter. My theory is that this guy was either like a libertarian type or something like that who started to lean Trump, and then the Project 2025 stuff came out on the mainstream news, which was jeopardizing his candidacy. So he's like, oh, if I do a fake assassination attempt, I could lionize him.
What's Project 2025?
Project 2025 is a plan made by the Heritage Foundation, a lot of whom are in Trump's inner circle, and it wants to do things, including but not limited to, abolish the FBI and the Department of Education and the EPA, among other things. I'll send you the article, but it's like super fucked up.
I will tell you though, being a teacher, and seeing what the FBI's done. I don't know about the EPA, but I know they're not fucking that super either. And if your plan is to then come up with something better, maybe.
No, it's not.
That's the tricky part is if we're abolishing one so that the new thing can take over, so we can kind of do a clean right? But yeah,
Project 25 is super, super fucked up. It's bad. Okay. Anyway, the guy probably thought I can lionize him to the general media or to swing voters or whatever, and by pulling like a Reichstag fire, by trying to do trying to like make it look like it's something. Ford said he donated to $15 to a Democratic super PAC in 2020. So, like,
the guy.
The guy, I think. Yeah.
Thank you, Clayton. That's actually cool because a lot of things are going to come out.
That's what I think. I think this is going to be like this is going to be the new most wild conspiracy theory. Like the next week and a half, it'll be 10 days. Remember?
Yeah.
you're
Move
saying
over, moon landing.
listen,
A January 6th who's upset about not being pardoned, but Jim, why would he be like free and able to do that unless he already got out of jail or something?
What are we talking about? That he's going to be a January.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Project 2025 is bad, super bad. Yeah, yeah.
You heard it here first. Listen,
It's super fucked. It's messed up.
listen.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm gonna laugh at you in free healthcare because, man, you guys, look,
Fill in the blank. Yeah.
I even went to Florida a little while ago, and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, go check out this pizza place. It's really good pizza. It's very New York style pizza. It's great." It's great. Okay, I'm gonna go. So we went. I took my wife. We got 2 slices of pizza, 2 bottles of water. It cost us $22. $22 is a lot for a slice of pizza,
Yes,
in my
it is.
opinion.
Yes.
So, my friend who was in Toronto, who also my other cousin, goes, "Hey, how much was it? Was it still $3.50?" And I'm like, "It was $22 for what we got." She's like, "Are you fucking crazy right now?" So I'm like, you guys aren't even cheap to live. Like, it's insane right now. So 2025, I'm like, whatever. You guys are on your own. Canada is not supporting this.
Yeah, I mean, but I'll tell you honestly. I mean, you're a teacher, right, Atlas?
Yeah.
The education system is a joke. I mean,
Yeah,
what I teach and what I see, it's ridiculous, and it's cheating the kids. It's cheating the workers. It's disallowing teachers to do a real job. It's there's so much state testing and everything. So that's why I said when you brought up, like, he wants to disband this education. And then when you talk about the FBI, but if there's nothing to fill it with, like, and then we're going to redo it from the ground up.
That's not.
That's going to be
That's not what they're. The goal is to give more power to the executive branch and make it almost functionally like a kingship. I sent you the Wikipedia article. It goes
that's
through.
atrocious. Yeah, I'll read it. I'll read it right after because that's atrocious.
So wait, what's your prediction? What do you think I think your theory?
I think what's going to happen. I think what's going to come out of all this is Trump is going to win over a lot of middle fence and possible Democrats who weren't happy with what's already happened and don't have a different choice. And even if the Kamala was the choice, are not going that way at all. I think that's going to tear him a bunch of people that way. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. First of all, I already said it's crazy that we're even picking between them.
That's number one. That's number one. That decision is insane. Totally crazy.
I think Robert Evans, not the guy who did the Godfather movies, the Behind the Bastards guy, put it best when he said that Joe Biden, what has been a good president and he's done a lot of good things, but you would have taken the keys from Grandpa by now.
Yeah,
he's still capable, but
not really.
Pass it off, man.
He claimed new jobs, but he forgot to point out that those were just the jobs that were gone, that came back. Again, all of them are full of shit. But this is what I mean. It's like my daughter, my oldest. She's very upset at Israel over the Palestine thing, and I told her, that's cool. Run over to Palestine, let them know you're bisexual, and go give them a hug. Here's the thing. Israel sucks. Palestine sucks. Both governments suck ass. They mistreat people. They mistreat humans. They deny rights. They're full of shit, and they're one-sided.
I think she more cares about the civilians, not the
I care about that. I care about this. Is anyone who sucks balls and hurts people and kills people for who they are and takes away their freedoms. I'm against on both sides. I don't want anyone. I don't want the worst of them. I don't want the best of them. I want none of them. I don't want Palestine's government. I don't want Israel's government. Because again, in Palestine, they kill people for being homosexual. In Africa, people can't even marry the same sex or even date the same sex without going to jail. The fact is, we need to wake up that there are people across the world whose human rights, including in Israel, whose human rights are being totally taken. I mean, again, what Israel's doing is obviously ridiculous. But what's been going on in Palestine forever is also what's been going on in Israel, what's been going on in everywhere around the world except possibly Sweden. I don't know why, but they just seem happy. But everywhere else,
I don't know if you've seen Midsommar, but they're not all happy.
No, but listen,
Switzerland. Maybe I'm at Switzerland.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying though? It's like no side's right anymore. We're not about that. We're not in that world anymore where anyone's speaking from a proper side. Biden and Trump are again, Biden's entire history is pathetic and garbage, going to racism and everything else. And his family line, if you really research it, it's deep into supremacy. And you'll find out that there ain't nothing but white blood in that family across the board, except the hookers. Trump's family is complete criminals and garbage. They're both criminal garbage. Pelosi, all of them go back to mafia stuff. Look at all the Kennedys. Someone was so excited that a Kennedy was going to run. They freaking killed people to shut them up. I don't want any of them. You know who I want? I want Michael Skafulki or Sheila Valonki that no one ever knew about, but they're brilliant, they're educated, they're knowledgeable, they've traveled, they've lived different places, different countries, they have lived in real life with real people. I want them to run for president, and I want to have a choice between those type of people. I don't care if they're straight, gay, transgender, anything between Asian to black to white to anything. Who cares? I want intelligent people that aren't connected.
100%. Well, this is the whole thing that I was talking about was like, listen, the idea that someone who's doing public service is becoming wealthy. That's a problem. And I kind of laughed because up here, I think it was this past year that politicians voted for themselves to have a raise and to start their summer vacation early. And you stand there and going, you know, if I got to vote on my own raise and with all of my coworkers, all of us together, if we got to vote in favor for a raise for everyone or nobody, I am confident that every year, not just 1 year, every year, I could get everyone to say, yes, we all need, I hate that guy, but he still deserves a raise. All of us should get a raise. We could do that too. So on what fucking planet does a paid politician who should be serving the public have any right to give himself a raise? Get absolutely the fuck out of here. Like, that's absolutely crazy. And you're going, no, you should be, I should be able to call the president or the prime minister of Canada at 4 o'clock in the morning and be like, what did you do with my tax money, you piece of shit? You know why? You're working for me, you son of a bitch. I don't understand why.
Do you wonder why any of us have representatives? Why do we still have representatives when we're talking on a machine that is our representative?
You're not
right now talking back and forth where we can vote firsthand. We don't need any reps. We're not in the Old West. They don't need to take a stagecoach into the main town to cast our votes. They don't need to go represent us. We can represent ourselves around this world on this internet. The World Wide Web allows us to each vote with facial recognition or thumbprint recognition. It's still going to be better than the voting processes they have around the world right now, using our thumbprint, using our face print. Sure, some people will lose a thumb so a vote can go in, but it's going to be still probably better. But we are able to represent ourselves, yet we still have representatives that we're paying tons of money to.
Hey, can you imagine that we so Cole says David Berger for president. Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you, Cole.
Absolutely. But like, could you imagine living in a world where it's like, hey, if you want a law to pass, 60% of the population has to sign off on it. Go home, you're allowed to vote or choose not to vote. You can abstain. But
I mean, California has a like modicum of this with the propositions on the ballot every election where they can put in, like, people can put in propositions that the general populace can vote on.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Most of the time, though, it ends up being like,
the process to get it done isn't really for people. It's for certain.
Yeah, but you can't. But the fact that you can vote on a law directly is still something. Otherwise, you have to like hit up your representative or senator and be like, "Hey, I don't like this thing you're doing," and even then, you're just one guy. And I guess that's voting for you. Anyway, as ever more possible at the internet.
No, he's right, though, that we could actually live in a democratic society because we have the internet. We could do so many other things rather than watch somebody fart the Star Spangled Banner or porn.
Hey, let's not go
I'm
too
not saying
far.
never watch it. I'm not saying never. It doesn't need to flood. You should have to actually you should have to make movements on your computer to find any of that stuff, any porn, any violence. You should have to specifically try to find it. Like, I want to watch porn, and it should be readily available. But you should have to have the intent of finding it. It shouldn't be popping up. It shouldn't be in our faces the way they've used the internet. The internet should be to get information, to find out stuff.
In a day and age where we have everything attached to us, like on our phone and at our fingertips, I feel like it would be hilarious that it's like, oh, you actually can't watch TV until you do XYZ amount of activity every day. You're like, oh, if you don't walk 2 miles, you're like, yeah, you the TV won't work at your house. Like, I'm sorry, like that shit is real. Like, you can do that.
Well, that's a little Russia-y.
Oh, it's a lot Rushy, and that's the scary part is that, like, listen, you can. It's this weird thing where we're going like, hey, we should all get. If we're not being represented, then we should all get a say, right? If we're gonna be if we want to be democratic, we're not getting represented, then we get a say. Those are the options, right? But like, the fact is that the population itself having a say is a fairly new popularity. It has existed for many, centuries. I'm Greek. We made it, but it doesn't always last. People get crazy. It's just one of those things, right?
Yeah, I mean, we had a 60% bill in Ohio last year. We said no, and abortion bans and weed legalization passed by 2% margins 3 months later.
Yeah, but listen, that's like, hey, ask the public. If the public wants it, that's the new norm. Fuck off. Sorry.
Well, that's where we really should be at. But in this country, we definitely, unfortunately, aren't.
Like, look, I love when they're like, oh, it's an election. That's going to cost X amount of millions of dollars. I'm like, no, it's not. I have a website. I sign in with my government ID or with my thumbprint or my face, which, I'm sorry. Are we going to sit down and say the NSA doesn't have every American's face on record linked to whatever I do? Like,
when people tell me, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to be on their radar. You are.
Oh, you're there, bro. You're there.
Yeah. You're not important enough that they even care, but you are there.
Yeah.
I think he means abortion protections.
Yeah.
That, not abortion ban. What's happened in the last week? What did we miss? Leave a like and comment down below. David, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Dino, Alice, you guys are amazing.
Where can people find and follow you and all that good stuff?
Well, right now, I pretty much, honestly, I'm off of social media. I have a little bit of Instagram, and then I do TikTok. I'm Burger at TikTok. And I have videos and different stupid things. And other than that, I'm getting ready to start going on the road again.
Nice.
So hopefully I'll be in your town. Request me. Check out my comedy if you like it. I'm Burger Comedy. Request me in your town.
All right. Cool. You can follow us at Generation Dan and all the places where you get your social medias. At Atlas Novak in all those same places. My other podcast, Last Minute History, which I do with Cole Clayton, who does Hammered and Cheese with Dino. That's also on this YouTube channel. Or my other podcast, Nexus at Night, which is about a trading card game, and if you don't like it, fuck you. Happy, Dino? Your turn.
Love it.
He's so aggressive. Hello, everybody. You can follow me at Dino the Genetic Marvel. I'm actually doing live comedy tonight in Ajax. If you are around, feel free to come check it out because I'm going to do probably about 10 minutes about dick jokes. It's mostly,
And for people listening to this on Friday, that's already passed.
It's already passed. You need to figure out time travel. Yeah, you have to figure out time travel first. And then come back and we can have a good time. It'll be fine. All right?
All right.
Perfect.
Cool.
Have a good one, everybody.
Bye,
See ya.
everyone.